Hi, this is Billy Tarasi over Modern Law Practice. It's been a long day with a lot of meetings with our clients, and I realized something today. One of the things that we end up doing that makes a huge difference in people's law firms is advising them to break up with problem employees or problem partners. It's crazy how one of the most effective things that you can do for your firm is to get rid of the people that are plaguing you. They're like slivers underneath your skin. They're stuck there and you don't want to pull it out because it's uncomfortable and it feels bad and you don't want to go through the process of pulling it out. But once you pull it out, you're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do that sooner? That is what it's like to fire the wrong employee. So how do you know if you have the wrong employee? Well, first of all, do a gut check. If you are dreading seeing this person and you felt this way for a long time, it's not like it's not a blip in your relationship. It's that you really can't stand this person, especially if the relationship's new. End it. You're not doing yourself any favors. We have to work with our coworkers all day, every day. And there's no use working with people that you just don't like, that make you feel bad about yourself or who don't support your vision. Number two, the person does not agree with your values or your mission. And there's a great tool called the People Analyzer that you might want to take a look at, where you really think about what your values are, and then you analyze whether or not your current employees embody those values as well. If you have a fundamental disagreement about direction or values, then you're wasting your time. Now, let's assume that you know you need to fire someone, but what you really want to know is how. How do I do it? Well, you have a couple options. If you're on the fence, so you think maybe this relationship can be rehabilitated, maybe not, I'm not sure, then you need to go in and have a radically candid conversation. You need to say to this person, hey, so-and-so, I really like you, assuming it's true. I really like you. I really like working with you. You know that these are the things that are important to my firm, and it looks like they're not working out, or you're not meeting the expectations that I've provided to you. First of all, we have to be able to provide expectations to our employees, and then we should be able to go to them, preferably with data, to say, what's going on that you can't meet these goals that we've set for you? And then it's on them. You don't need to say why you think they're not meeting the goals. You can ask them why they think they're not meeting their goals and what they are proposing to do to change that. You can put that on them, and then I would say lock in time frames. So if they say, don't worry, I got it, yada, 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 I'll work harder, I'll stay longer, or whatever, you follow up with something like, okay, what we're going to do is meet again in 30 days. And I'm expecting that based on what you've told me, this is going to change. Now I'm here the entire time over the next 30 days. Let's check in. Let's see how it's working. Let's reevaluate the plan. I want to support you to make sure that you're successful in this. If you get to the end of that 30 days and there hasn't been a change, then it's time to have a frank conversation. This obviously isn't working. Maybe you change your compensation structure. One of the things that I've had success with recently is moving a salaried attorney to a percentage-based compensation. That has had amazing impacts on some people in aligning their objectives and increasing their productivity, because now when they're more productive for the firm, they're more productive for themselves. So that's one option. So you can try to fix the problem, but if you fundamentally have an issue where there's a disconnect, where you don't belong working together, you really want this person out of your life, then the best way to fire them is very short and sweet. There's no explanation whatsoever. It's so-and-so, I have really enjoyed working with you. You're no longer needed at Modern Law. Or maybe not. Okay, let's try that whole thing again, because it is hard. But one time I wrote down a script and read it, because I was on the phone, the person was out of state, so I had to be on the phone, and I read it, and it was just like, so-and-so, your services are no longer needed here. Here's your final paycheck and a release I'd like you to sign. Go ahead and read it. I'm offering you this severance, and that's it. That's it. You change the passwords, you take the keys back, you call it a day. I like to always offer a severance package because I want to make sure that I don't have any liability lingering around, any possible or potential claims. And I'd also like to give someone who's depended on me for a salary a little bit of notice, a little bit of leeway. I just feel like that's kind of the cost of doing business and an expense of making a wrong hire. So who is it that is in your world that is dead weight, that is bringing you down, that is hurting your firm? You know who they are. You know they have to go. So reach out to me, make the commitment to fire them, and I will hold you accountable every single step of the way. Thanks.